taking me about an hour to get out of the city limits, and I haven't been on this part of the river before. It's a little bit faster water, so that's been kind of fun. What I'm going to do here is take a trip down the river for about another 30 miles, 50 kilometers. I'm not going to make that all this afternoon, so I'm going to stop at some point and then finish off the trip tomorrow. It was a pretty good night under that tarp last night. There was actually some frost this morning. Checked the temperature and it was a couple degrees below freezing. Got probably about 10 miles to go today. Something like that. And then I'll get picked up on the other end. Kind of a funny feeling when you shove off. I almost feel like I forgot something behind, but it's too late now. Here we go. Yesterday I had the sun at my back for most of the day. I don't think it was great for filming, but it almost made the river a little bit easier to read. Today everything's just a bright reflection, and so it's kind of hard to see if there's rocks I need to avoid or where the shallows are. It's good, it's all a good experience. On one hand, it's nice to go where the river's faster, because you move along a little quicker. That's usually where there's a little bit rougher water. You just have to pick your spots. Some of this is actually pretty shallow. You can kind of see where there's a little bit of a ripple. Okay, that's a gravel bar. Obviously you need to stay away from that. And then when you see some white caps, that's kind of a different story. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in this little boat. I've had a lot of boats over the years, even a couple of canoes. I had a cedar strip canoe, a canvas canoe, but never really did any river canoeing. It was pretty much calm lakes. Had a ski boat, a sailboat, John boat. At one point, I guess it'd be my dad would ask me, he said, how many boats have you got now? I think one point was 6. So that was kind of funny. In the last few years I haven't had any boats. Thought I would be done with boats, but here I am. You know, having a canoe is kind of opened my eyes to some other possibilities here. And the whole idea of canoe camping, canoe tripping. Got tons of great rivers around here, not much for lakes. So you dismiss the idea of a canoe. And maybe a kayak makes more sense, except you can't get much in a kayak. This little 12-foot boat, I can't get much in there either, but most of these places, at some point you're gonna have to carry your canoe. And so if you bring your Dutch oven and your big cooler, it's gonna be lots of trips and hard to carry all that stuff. So just kind of carrying on with the theme of going lightweight, I thought I'd go for a small canoe. This one's only about 40 pounds to carry. If I can still bring along 25 pounds of gear, I think that's doable on a single carry. Not too far anyways. At the same time, should be lots of gear for a few nights in the wilderness. I got a couple of bigger trips planned. I'm not sure how the timing is going to work out. Some of the lakes are still frozen. I'm not quite sure when the rig is going back to work. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks here. It'd be great to get out for a little bit of a longer adventure. Paddles touching the ground here, and yet I'm good 50 yards from shore. Let's get out into the main channel a little more. Wasn't wearing my gloves all day yesterday, so I picked up some blisters on my hands. I thought I forgot them. I was going through my stuff last night and I found them in the bottom of my mesh bag. It'll be good to have them here today. It's kind of interesting. Paddling, you use different muscles. You feel it a little bit more in the shoulders. And then you sleep on the hard ground all night. It's going to take a little while to get loosened up again here. But I think it's worth it. Build those muscles over time here. I think it's just like running or hiking or anything else. In the beginning it's painful, and then you can really enjoy it. You can probably hear the faster water coming. Try and pick a deeper channel, it's not always easy. Oh, there's a bar in the middle. I think I'm gonna have to try and get around it here. Might be too late. Yeah. There we go. I want to be sideways. Hit a rock and you'd be over. There we go. I think we're good. This little boat, I find if I sit sideways to whichever side I'm paddling on, I get kind of a longer stroke and it doesn't hurt my wrist as much. I give a little bit of a twist to the paddle to straighten it out at the end of the stroke. I don't know if you call that a J stroke or what that is. I guess it's a Dave stroke. As long as it works. River, you could use your paddle just for a little bit of steering as well. Only problem with sitting sideways, if you got to get to the other side, you got to do a big pivot. That can be a little tricky, like that last spot there. It's coming up fast again. Straighten out a bit. A lot of fishing along this river. You've seen me pass some drift boats. Guys pay big dollars for that. I did bring my fly rod along. This trip going to try and read the river, not do too many things at once. Trying to navigate around a drift boat here. See what he's doing, see what we're going to do. We got one guy casting out each side. Morning. Morning. So the flies along this river are just crazy. I don't know if you can see them buzzing around. I'm sure they're probably sticking into my face, and careful to keep my mouth closed. I ended up swallowing more than one. I'm sure it's great for fishing. Not so great for canoeing. But they don't bite. They're just kind of a nuisance. So it could be a lot worse. Could be mosquitoes or black flies or something else. Got some rougher, faster water on the other side of the channel there. It is a little bit fun, but there's usually a reason for it. So could be some rocks buried in there, uneven riverbed. So I'm going to stay over here where it's a little calmer. I don't feel like getting wet today. Bugs. Well, I got a little bit of a calmer spot in the river. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about this canoe. It's made by Esquif Canoes in Quebec, Canada. This is their Adirondack model. It's a solo boat, obviously, so one seat, 12 feet long. And well, I can't remember all the technical specs on it. It is a little bit wider, so it's not going to be a speed demon, but it's built to carry a little bit of cargo. I think short trips, and if you're a light packer like me, you might be able to extend that to some longer trips. So that's kind of what I want to do here. This video and the last one, just kind of getting my feet wet, as it were, in my canoe. Just test the balance a little bit, see how it handles, see whether I can paddle it for an extended period of time. Working on some new muscles, as I said. I'm looking forward to having some fun with it. So, just getting a little bit faster water here. I have to pick my channel. Yeah, I want to be able to do some longer trips, and the canoe is going to allow me to do that. Just carry that little bit of extra gear, and a light enough boat that I can still carry it along with my gear when it comes time to portage around some rapids or something like that. That was fun. Morning. Good.
Are you fishing?
No, just floating today.
Oh, good.
First time down the river, so I thought I'd see what I had to deal with before I tried to complicate it.
Yeah, that's not a big canoe either, is it?
No, 12 feet.